So I'm just being honest about that. If they say that, they are lying. No question about it. They're lying, okay? It's just not the truth. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to become part of the Transplant Helper community. Okay, I just want to level with you today and have kind of a real personal conversation with you, and I really need your feedback on this. Now, it kind of starts with this premise, and that is if you are living the post-transplant life, everything is not always great, okay? As a matter of fact, me being in the position I am, not that there's any real position to this, but being the, quote, transplant helper and having done this channel now for a number of years, had hundreds, well, almost 1,000 videos now, but I have been in the center of a lot of things and really become acquainted with a lot of people all throughout the world, most all of which obviously are dealing with some type of transplant. Now, whether that's heart, lung, liver, kidney, pancreas, whatever, eye tissue, different things, I get in the center of a lot of these conversations that go on. And what I have learned is that there are so many of our constituents that are struggling right now. And they not only are struggling now, they struggle a lot of the time. Transplant is a wonderful option as far as it is a treatment and not a cure, but it is not a perfect option, okay? You're going to have challenges, you're going to have struggles, you're going to have difficult days, you're going to have issues and problems that arise post-transplant that I think sometimes we either don't know about, maybe we don't expect, or we just don't want to believe, we want to be in denial about, but that is the absolute fact. Okay, so anytime you talk with a transplant patient, whether it's pre or post transplant, if they look you in the eye and say, hey, I'm doing fine, I'm doing great, or whatever, when they're asked that question, how are you doing? How are things going? If they say I'm fine, they're lying, okay? I'm lying. And I did that for a long time, pre-transplant particularly, when the real case was, hey, if I was in stage 4 heart failure, which I was, had the card to prove it, if I was awaiting a heart transplant, which I was, obviously, if I was near the top of the list as a status 1 of the old system, I was very sick, okay? But I would still answer people the same way. I would have people come to my hospital room, walk in the door, see tubes and different things attached to me, say, how you doing today? Oh, I'm fine. I'm just fine. That was a lie, okay? And the truth is, since transplant, for the most part, I have continuously participated in that lie, okay? Now, I'm not saying every day for me is a bad day. I'm certainly blessed above most. I'm certainly having a very successful post-transplant life recovery. My quality of life is 10 times higher than it ever was before, and I mean even before transplant, because I was congenital. I've got more to do. I can do more, I should say, right now than I've ever been able to do in my life. I'm above the curve. However, I know there are so many in our community who are really struggling right now. Now, they don't always post that over in the Facebook groups. They don't always comment that publicly. But I promise you, I get dozens of messages per day, whether it's actual text on my cell phone, which, by the way, I'll put my text number up here. You're more than welcome to text me 24/7 pretty much. I'll help you any way that I can. That is my personal cell number, though, so don't share it out. But, you know, I either get text or emails or comments on videos, whatever. A lot of times people will reach out personally, and they'll say, hey, Jim, I'm really struggling. I'm dealing with this or that, and I'm facing, once again, a life-threatening situation. And so I just wanted to remind myself and really think about that, and also remind you as well that not everybody's having the perfect transplant. Matter of fact, I'll tell you how many people are. None. That's a 0 with the edges rubbed off. Absolutely none of us having a perfect post-transplant life. But there are a lot of people who are struggling a lot more than you are, a lot more than I am. And we need to pause and consider them every single day. Now, I go to God in prayer every day, several times a day. And I don't always do a good job at how I ask for things, but I really want to put a focus in the next few months and years on focusing on constantly asking for God to put his hand upon and care for those who are struggling post-transplant, because so many people really are. So this video may not have been about much. As a matter of fact, I don't know how I'm going to title it or anything like that, but I would like to hear from you in the comments. You know, have you had difficulties, or some of those difficult? Let me reword that. I know you've had difficulties. Have you had difficulty sharing those difficulties with people? because I know I do. A lot of times I don't tell anyone about my problem. One, sometimes you think they don't want to hear it, or two, you don't want people to look at you different. You don't want people to say, well, who's sick again, and treat you any differently. So it's better just say, I'm fine. I'm doing great, man. Yeah, I'm doing great. When at the same time, you may not really be doing so good. But share with me in the comments. Share with the community in the comments. How do you deal with your difficulties? Do you share them, or do you kind of steer away from letting people know how you feel honestly in your body, mind, and soul? Okay, so just put that in the comments below. I think it'll be very encouraging. And yeah, I'm going to say what I always do. Until next time, each and every one of you, please stay stronger, friends.